Hi, my name is Carl Larsen. This is the fourth PowerPoint presentation that have been developed to support you in developing a proposal for the SHAEA project. This PowerPoint presentation is called the SHAEA Submission form, and it's trying to guide you in how to fill in the form. So there have been some complaints that there is no guidelines on the form in regard to font type and font size. So here is some guidelines. We recommend that you work with 1-inch margins, 12 points font size, normal style like Times Roman, and standard spacing like single space, and that will give you approximately 500 words per page. So you can see here how that will spell out according to the number of pages that there are for each section. Also, there is a bit of guiding text under each heading, and there's been questions about this guiding text. When you fill in the form, you should of course delete this guiding standard text so it doesn't fill up your form and take space for the page limits that you have. Please be aware that for the SHAEA project it is not really an open call for proposals. It is more an assignment that you are betting on. A lot of the things have already been predetermined, so there's a project development objective which you have to adhere to, and it's to strengthen linkages between selected African universities and regional agriculture sectors' needs for developing required human resources to accelerate agri-food system transformation in Africa. So most of the things that you would spend time for in an open call for proposals, like background, problem statement, objectives, justifications, all of that has to a large degree been predetermined in this call for proposals. So what we are requesting you to do in filling in the submission form is to come with a clear and logistic project proposal that demonstrates how you will answer this call for proposals. What is the institutional and intellectual capacity that you put in place? Do you have a clear, coherent and convincing approach to tackle the stated problems within the given design and time frame? Meaning, how do you do with leadership, with education, with research, with partnerships, all of that? And the selection of the key gap areas that you make among the 6 that are included in a call, that should reflect national priorities for human resource capacity strengthening. And the proposal must have a strong regional anchoring and perspective, and you must have shown that you have partnerships that are diverse and represent clear private sector engagement. These are some of the things that we are requesting for you in replying to the call for proposal for this assignment. So this is the first page on your proposal submission form. It should be quite straightforward how to use it, so I won't spend much time here. Of course, when we said head of institution, we mean the vice chancellor or the rector, depending on what the name is in your given institution. The proposed deputy head of leadership component is somebody from senior management, and who it is, that is up to the institution to decide. The proposed academic head or head of academic component would most likely be a senior faculty member from one of the leading faculties in this proposal. Probably agriculture, but not necessarily. Could also be for social science or economics or something else. And also here we need a proposed deputy head from the faculty. Preferably the head and the deputy head should not come from the same faculty if there are many faculties involved in the SHAEA project. So the second page of the proposal submission form is the cover set, where you indicate if you have an existing PhD program or not. You do not need to have an existing PhD program. And if you tick the no, please try to indicate here when you expect a PST program to be operational. If you are applying for SHAEA, we are expecting that you will start a PST program within one of the 6 regional key gap areas that are listed below. So here first you are asked about PSTs, and you are only required to run one PST program. That is why it says which one of the 6 key knowledge gap areas would you like to run a leading PST program within. So you write your first priority, one of them, the second priority, and the third priority. And the reason why we are requesting you to have 3 different priorities is that we need to have something to select from, as we can't have 3 regional anchor universities in the same region running the same PST program. So you need to run one PST program, but you need to indicate 3 PST programs that you potentially can run and put priority 1, 2, and 3. For masters, you need to run a minimum of 2 programs. You can, if you want, have more masters within the 6 regional key gap areas, but you need to address at least 2 of them. You can select the same, many will probably select the same program at PhD and master level. That is not a problem. You are welcome to do that. So, institutional information. Here you indicate your faculty name, and here you indicate department name, and here you indicate which postgraduate program that you are talking about. And there is, I can't remember, there's a number of pages with this table in, and you can add or subtract to your liking. If you only have 3 departments, you only have 3 tables. If you have 10 departments involved, you have 10 tables. So the reason why there's quite a number of them in the proposal submission form is to indicate that this is expected to be transdisciplinary courses, and they therefore anticipate that more than one faculty and many departments will take part in executing the SHAEA educational programs and research collaboration. And FTE means full-time equivalent. So that is equivalent to how many full-time positions if you have part-time members of faculty or part-time students. It has to be adjusted to full-time equivalents. There's a few universities that have had issues with strikes or close down, that they can't submit adequate numbers for 2018 and 17. Then if that is your case, use previous years, and please indicate why you are doing so. What is the justification and reason for not using 2017-2018 data? Thank you. The executive summary is supposed to be brief, so be sharp and to the point, and people have complained that it is too short, especially when we are asking for, in addition, you should articulate something on partnership strategy, but then refer to the parts of the proposal submission form where you can talk about this in more details. It is very important that you are capable of presenting your comprehensive plan in a very brief and coherent manner. So this is an exercise in doing that, trying to force you to be brief and to the point. In this section, you're asked to describe the strategy to address the challenge. And those 2 pages is actually the place in the submission forms where you can go a little bit more into the details of what is your vision, what is it you want to do, how is it you will address this challenge of agri-food system transformation through applied research, through developing a cohort of postgraduate students, through short-term training of mid-career people, through working with the broader landscape of agricultural education institutions in the countries, through working on increasing the national capacity to do policy analysis. All this kind of things you can try to put in here in those 2 pages. And again, of course, delete this standard text. You don't need it when you start filling in the form. The next part of the proposal submission form is all about component 1.1, strengthening management and leadership of the institution. This is a very important part of the SHAEA project idea, that the SHAEA project is a project of a magnitude that will influence the whole university. So although it probably will be anchored in Faculty of Agriculture or in the College of Agriculture, whichever you have in your university, it will require strong commitment and engagement from the senior management of the university. So this component 1.1 on institutional leadership and management capacity should be developed either by or in close cooperation with representatives from senior management. This is their component. They are responsible for it. They will have to run it. They will have to learn how to use DLIs in a performance-based project funding mechanism. All of that has to be dealt with on these 3 pages. I'll just scroll through them, but there's a lot of text here to help you guide. And please be honest and prudent. There's a lot of existing problems in universities. So there are issues related to governance. There's issues related to having merit-based hiring of faculty and university leadership. There's issues of leadership training, which is the component 2.1 of the SHAEA project, and there might be need to look at the policies and the practices both at central and at departmental and faculty level. Quality assurance is a very important thing. Regionalization, information systems, and not least issues like procurement and financial management. In most universities in Africa, these are notorious malfunctioning, and since universities in Africa are very much controlled from the top, from the senior management, they are the only one who has the capacity, if they have the will, to change the slowness and the malfunctioning of especially procurement. Of course, we are aware that there are reasons for this malfunctioning, but if you want to be a leading university in your region and beyond, you have to start cleaning up in malpractices within your institution. So this is all what this project management and governance component is about. The next session is about the structure of project management and governance. So while above on component 1.1 was about how senior management would be part of the SHAEA project and develop their own sub-part of the project where they address inconsistencies and low performance in the central administration and leadership and management style of the university. This is more on the design of the management governance structure of the SHAEA project. And in the proposal submission, there's this example of how a governance structure could look like for a project. This is not a fixed format. You don't have to use this one. This is just an example of a format or a template that shows you how it could look like. Please feel free to design the management structure so it fits your institutional setup and your unique project design. The next table is this faculty participation table, and we have deliberately written list 20 primary faculty members, again because we want you to show that this is a broadly anchored, a broadly engaged project, and that the research and the postgraduate programs are multidimensional and transdisciplinary in their approach, so they need participation from faculty members from different faculties, different departments, different schools within the university system. Of course, you can add and subtract these tables so it fits your purpose within the template. The next thing we would like you to describe is how you are going to tackle the issue of staff development. What the SHAEA project will require from everybody within the university: senior management, local management, members of faculty, support staff, administrative staff at central and faculty or department level. All of these people will be influenced of the SHAEA project, and they need to have capacity training, on-job training, courses, whatever. We recommend that you do a trainings needs assessment with the different kinds of groups of members, and I would recommend that you work with headings. So one heading could be management, administration, faculty, support staff. So you clearly distinguish that for the different type of staff groups, you have a specific staff development plan and approach. It is not only recommended to use headings in each section of the proposal submission form, it's also recommended that you end each section with a table with expected results. So again, this is just an example, and here on the left hand side you have the different types of university staff, and then you have the different activities within staff capacity building that you are planning within your SHAEA project, and then you fill in the number of persons that you expect to train. You can have this table also split so it's clear what number of trainees are males and what number are females, so you're also paying attention to the gender issue. Next is the part on education, training, teaching and learning. This is a very important part, which is why it has been given the most space for you to describe how you are going to address this within your proposal to become a regional anchor university. Again, I would recommend that you use headings to enhance structure and clarity. These are again examples. It could be that you write component 1-2, training and education within and by the regional anchor university. Here you could describe what PhD programs you will run, how you will run them, what kind of resources you will put into it, who will be involved in designing curriculum and implementing curriculum, what pedagogic and learning approach you would use, and the same for master programs, short courses. It could, for example, be staff development segregated according to the type of staff as mentioned above. It could be summer schools, it could be other things. Next heading could be component 2.2, which is about working together, enhancing and helping other agricultural learning institutions within the country and in the region. And here it will predominantly be short courses, as this component does not include postgraduate education. And it could be partner staff development, and of course a very key thing within short courses, mid-career training for civil servants, private sector, informal sector, actors within the agri-food system in the country and in the region. Again, I would recommend that you end the section with an overview of our expected results. Here an example. Component 1-2 education results from the regional anchor university, and the different kinds of educations, PhDs, masters, staff upgrading of internally and staff upgrading of partners could be some of the ways that you would break it down, and then take the years of the project and a total in the end. You could go further on and make a separate table for short courses, or integrate it in the first table if you don't want to have a high level of detailing. Here it is commercial sector, informal sector, farmers, extension officers from ministry, that means public servants, rural advisor and other civil servants. Again, using the years of the project and a total in the end. That way you will clearly show what your ambitions and expectations is in relation to education, training, teaching and learning. This is all that I managed to do for now. So we are not finished with the proposal submission form, so this is to be continued. I hope that these guidelines for how to fill in the proposal submission form have helped you. If you want to sort of revisit the whole idea of the project, please feel free to watch some of the other PowerPoint presentations on my YouTube channel, Good to Know About SHAEA, and you can also visit the Regional Facilitation Unit's homepage at roforum.org/share. Thank you for now.